Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of chapter 4. It's a human's world, and part 1 is a little emotional. So I split this up into 2 tapings, so you'll get both on the same day, but so I didn't have to redo 16 minutes. So here we go. So when we last left off, Colonel kind of had an episode and Daisy saved him, causing tension. Micah doesn't quite understand what's happening. Why is this dog so great? This dog keeps getting in my dad's way, but the dog is helping. Big communication breakdown in the family, clearly. And so we'll kind of see how things unfold now that this sort of episode has happened in the car. When we get home, Micah slams the door to his den. Bam! The sound of a kick in the ribs. Colonel Victor winces, but is otherwise fine. The woman, Anna, and the baby aren't there. I sniff around a bit. I'm still trying to find the source of the fishy smell. It's lingered for days. Yesterday, I even poked around in the garbage, which says a lot because garbage smells like loss and goodbye. But I didn't find it because Anna yelled red sirens at me. Tick, 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 swish. Approaching. A small clicking noise. Then the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor, like small splinters of chopped wood. Then the tree crackling and falling, and again, tick, 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 swish. That's an onomatopoeia, by the way. I open my nostrils and sniff. Fish scales. Around the corner he lopes. Long toenails ticking on the floor. It's a lizard, a huge one, about the size of a small cat, with spikes jutting forth from his chin and down his back. He is beyond ugly. He is plastic litter. I scramble to my feet, the hair on my back barbs, and I taste unknown things. Relax, grasshopper, says the lizard. One of his eyes rolls skyward, but the other one stays firmly locked on me. Creepy, like spaghetti snakes. I've always distrusted spaghetti. I'm here too, the thing says. I'm Smaug, dragon healer of precious things. I take a step back. Smaug takes a step forward. The tail on this lizard is several inches long and whips across the floor dually, the sound from before of the tree falling. It appears as if his tail has a life of its own and if it's fighting for freedom from Smaug. I am in Micah's room, Smaug says, when I do not wish to explore. A word of warnings. Those who do not enter frequently become unwelcome entirely. Excuse me? I have never been in Micah's room. There's never been a purpose for me in there. Why would I do something with no purpose? Purpose is everything. Smaug sizes me up, his odd eyeballs twitching, his tongue darting to and fro. You have much to learn about loyalty. I snuff. I beg your pardon. You have much to learn about not talking like a fortune cookie. Shuffling sounds come from Colonel Victor's chair. Smaug turns. Here is where I leave you. I do not wish to end this journey just yet. Tick, 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 swish. Splinters and fallen trees. Smaug waddles away around the corner, his long tail, snapping out of sight just as Colonel stands. I see that lizard's game. The big humans don't know he wanders the house. Colonel Victor limps into the kitchen and opens a bunch of bottles. The pills he pours into his hand are blue and red and pink and make me think of howling sad songs. He tosses them into his mouth and gulps water. Soon his heart slows even more to a dull, unnatural thud. His face lines turn foggy, changing to a cool off-white color, not his normal shade. It's an artificial color for him, like light from a bulb instead of the sun. Loud music pounds from Micah's den. Boom, boom, boom. Onomatopoeia. A herd of stomping rats in a sewer. Colonel Victor slumps into his chair. He taps his leg for me to sit next to him, so I do. But then he taps his leg again. I realize he's asking me to jump into his lap. I do. I fit perfectly. My front paws hanging off one arm of the chair, my back legs off the other, my tail directly in Colonel Victor's face. He dusts off a rare grin through the fog. Thank you for earlier, Miss Daisy. You're welcome. I am unsure why it was important. I did what any pack member would do. Any pack member, but Micah, apparently. He sighs and picks at the fabric on his chair. Driving is dangerous now, too. I can't do any of the things I used to love. Hunting, fishing. He tilts his face around to look in my eyes, and his voice is suddenly a raccoon lying too still in the middle of the highway. But you don't want to hear any of this, do you? Go ahead. I fight with my wife. I fight with my son. I can barely hold the baby. His voice turns twitchy. A too late jolt of raccoon's tail. He finds a string on the chair and pulls it. You can tell me. They say I'm unemployable. I mean, that's the definition of a serviceman, service. And now I'm useless. It's the ultimate insult. My whole self softens. Yes, I understand. Uselessness is the highest dishonor. It's the ultimate cone of shame. I have been called useless. But he's wrong. Colonel Victor is not useless. He's the alpha dog of this pack. He must still be confused. His eyes turn watery. He tries to swallow it back, but I can hear the knot in his throat. I can't turn it off, Miss Daisy. The constant seeking and searching for danger, I can't turn it off. He is crying now. He is bad at it, too. He chokes and gasps like a red raccoon's guts spilled on pavement. I can tell he doesn't let himself cry a lot. He pulls the string from his chair, and it gets longer. That's why I told Micah not to whistle. Sounds too much like incoming mortar shells. The sound I heard before my friends. The string he pulls pops. Colonel Victor sobs, but tries to clench it in his throat like a fist. Tears make rivers on his face. I shift on his lap and reach up. I give him a quick kiss on the cheek. I catch a tear on my tongue. It tastes like fighting a bigger dog. I never wanted to do that. Fight the bigger dog. Fight any dog. He thumps my rib cage and thanks. We are a team. And I think of wet-nosed muzzles from my family. They keep calling me a wounded warrior, Miss Daisy, but I don't feel like either of those. Wounded or a warrior. If I were a warrior, I would have brought every man back home. His voice cracks like gunfire. I don't know what that means exactly, but I know he is a warrior. The essence of it is written on his soul. And wounded? I guess. But I actually just feel... He pauses to think of the word, and his fingers pick at another string on his chair. My ears perk toward the hallway. Micah is just around the corner, listening. His shade bleeds around the doorframe, a murky horizon, like a dark, sad, gray ocean on a rainy day. I can hear the tears on his cheeks. Then Colonel Victor speaks. Broken. I feel broken. So that is how that very emotional chapter ends. Everybody's struggling, and I think we just started. And I know from being an author, things usually get more complicated before they get easier. So I'm a little nervous and a little apprehensive to see what sort of challenges they have ahead of them, but I'm excited. I do love the characters, and I think we're off to a really great book. So thank you for tuning in to chapter 4. Next will be chapter 5, the difference between smart and obedient. Chapter 5 next. See you then. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, week, wherever you are in your time. Stay healthy. Take care. See you soon.